Welcome to 3 Minutes with Jay. Jay Bala, portfolio manager at AIP Asset Management in Toronto. Jay, interest rates on the 10-year has hit 3% for the first time, I think, since 2014. Is that right?
That's right. It's been a very interesting period. Obviously, we're in a rising interest rate environment. And this is the first time in a very long time that, we've seen interest rates go up. And it's the first time in, again, I think, since 2014 or so that the 10-year U.S. Treasury bill is now yielding above 3%. So this is obviously a good thing for those that are heading towards retirement. The last thing you want to do is be sort of heavily invested in the stock market when you're in your 60s, because you just can't take the risk of sort of a downfall in that. So look, as interest rates keep ticking up, if you're buying a strong corporate, you're going to add another sort of 150, 200 basis points to that 3%. So now you're looking at somewhere around, 4, 5. And as it continues to rise, you might be able to lock in at something nice, like, sort of a 10-year Bell Canada bond at like 6 or 7%, which is going to sort of set you up very well for retirement. So I think, if you're in that age group where, you've got a significant amount of assets and you're thinking of retiring in the next 5 to 10 years, this is probably a very good time to be alive, right?
Right. So I like the way you're looking at this, Jay, because you're most of the news around the interest rate point of 3% on the 10-year was negative because it's a detriment to the equity markets. But you're looking at this more from the other side of the fence of, hey, if I'm looking for steady income and I want a good income paycheck, I'm now going to start seeing opportunities to lock in my money into some good corporates and get a good consistent rate of return.
Absolutely. Because, if you're thinking about it, imagine you were retiring in 2008, 2009, 2010, where interest rates were like 1%, right? You had saved up this $1 million and now you're locked in for 10 years at, say, 1.5%, which is a very meager retirement, right? So for those of you who are lucky enough not to retire back then or had extended your retirement, this is probably a great time. And, it's very important that people understand, just rates of returns on different asset classes. On a stock exchange like the TSX, the S&P, your average rate of return is something close to sort of 8 or 9%, right? So that's you taking on a lot of risk. Now, if you could get 6 or 7% sitting in a nice long-term bond, why wouldn't you do that? It doesn't have the same kind of volatility. It's not going to go down 30% in a year. And you get to sleep nicely. You get to go on those nice European vacations or wherever you want to spend your retirement, right? Like that's what you want out of your retirement. So you get that peace of mind where you don't have to call us and say, what's happening in my portfolio? We'll tell you the same thing. Nothing. You're still getting your 6%. It's perfect, right? So if you're in London, feel free to extend that vacation a little longer because, you've got peace of mind, right?
Thank you, Jay.
No problem. Thanks so much.